Hello and welcome to another Battlebox and Beyond. Yet again, Mike is with me, no matter how much I try and get rid of him.
Yeah, you love me though.
Yeah.
That's the problem you have.
He's cheap. And finally, we put it off for as long as we could.
You put it off?
Okay,
the bits I'm really excited about.
Okay, I put it off as long as possible. The sweet tears from the people in the various comments boxes asking for the for these guys, they were just like nectar.
Finally, we're getting Legion.
Not yet, not yet. We are doing the last. We're doing the last of the Warmachine ones, Cryx. I'm sorry. I tried to, but they made me.
No one made you do nothing.
Right. The battle box, and a very good battle box it is too. You get Deneghra, Prime Deneghra, Deneghra 1, whatever you want to call her. You get a Slayer, which is a heavy.
It's a 6-point heavy, which is good for its points.
Very good. And then you have 2 Death Rippers and a Defiler.
All Arc Nodes.
All Arc Nodes. She's a Spell Slinger. They serve different functions. We'll go into them later on, but most of the light jacks in Cryx have the unified title of chickens or bone chickens.
Bone jacks.
Yeah, chickens. Yeah, and you've got Joe downstairs who likes throwing chickens, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But later on we'll get to those later on. But hopefully you've bought that. You've had a few good games just to get your feet under the table, and you've realised, ooh, that's really filthy. I think if I put some of that away, what do I do to take in its place?
Yeah, well, let's first of all, we'll put Deneghra away, because she's horrendous in such a small game.
Yeah, again, we'll go into more detail later on. So, right, let's bulk out the army so we can look at other things and realise how disgusting it all is. So
we're starting off with the units, as always.
Yep.
First choice being one of your favourites.
The Bile Thralls. They are a nasty, nasty unit. I mean, speed 5, mat 6, armor 15. They have stealth. Their weapons have Weapon Master, and they have an ability called Dark Shroud, which, while you're in their melee range, you suffer -2 armor.
So they're not really PNS 11, they're PNS 13.
Yeah. 6 guys for 5 points or 10 guys for 8 points. Very solid.
Yep.
Really dependable. Great unit.
No, I never actually got a chance to see this in action. The last time I saw him on a table, died rather quick. For one main reason.
They probably didn't have the officer with them.
No, they did. They had the officer and standard with them. Yes, I've heard rumours about how nasty the standard is. I haven't seen it for myself. Right. He died.
The officer and standard, right? 3 points for these guys. Because it's 3 points, it means automatically that the standard bearer can fight as well. Normally, as we said before, the 2.1 unit attachments, normally the standard bearer doesn't do anything other than bring a flag. This one, he can fight, I believe.
He's got a Warwitch, so he can fight.
The officer has an ability granted Raise Dead. While this model is in play, after resolving continuous effects during your maintenance phase, knockdown models automatically stand up.
Dead Raise, not Raise Dead, but yeah.
Either or.
Dead guys are standing back up.
Yeah, basically, yeah. If you knock them down in your turn, it means nothing. They're back up on their feet. They can charge you. They can do whatever they like.
How difficult is it knocking these guys down?
Well, funny you may say that. Segue. The standard bearer gives them granted tough. So if you hurt them with their armor 15, if they make that 5+ invulnerable save from the 40k
the 5
games,
tough save.
5 up tough save, they're on the floor. And then in your turn, they're back up again. And yeah, the officer himself, he's got 2 axes.
Ouch.
So it really becomes a meat grinder of a unit. These guys can wreck jacks.
Like I said, as soon as I saw a pretty banner and I shot it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I did.
Yeah. So yeah, the standard one for something like that, because that tough is really nice, would be near the back of the unit, and just as long as the officer's still alive, they're still filth.
Yeah.
So great unit. As much as it pains me to say it, they are. So yeah. Well,
let's move on.
Yeah. So,
before we start drooling.
No, it's not drooling, vomiting, but
either or other. But it's one of my favourite units now.
Oh yes, you can drool about these.
Yes, it's the Satyxis Raiders, or Satixis Raiders, however you would like to pronounce them. They have 2 attacks each: the Lacerator, PNS 9, and your Horns, PNS 8.
Chicks with whips.
And Horns.
Oh yeah.
They've got advanced deployment and combined melee, so they can combine up to make themselves slightly better. They've got reach with chain weapons, which ignore the buckler, shield weapon qualities and shield walls.
Yeah.
They've got a critical knockdown, so on a critical hit, models knocked down. And they've got feedback. If they damage a jack, the caster also suffers 1 point of damage.
Yeah. I also want to point out here, speed 7. With advanced deployment, reach on their weapons, and speed 7.
But they're only defense 14, they're easy to hit with shooting.
Right, no, sorry. Speed 7. 6 inches because of the advanced deploy. Charge is 10 inches, so that's 16. And in the reach, 18 inches from your line.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge area that they can cover. That is massive.
But they're only defense 14, it's got to be better.
You want me to... Oh, why do you make me do it? Right.
I find it more amusing.
The Satixis Raider Sea Witch. It's the unit attachment for these guys. These girls, sorry. She gives them granted false barrier. These models in this unit gain +2 defense to range attacks and aren't affected by blast damage. So suddenly defense 16.
It's a bit nicer.
Yeah, I mean, she's 2 points, and the Sea Witch, these Raiders themselves are 6 points, 5 points for 6, 8 points for 10. So you can have for 10 points 11 models with obscene range, defense 16, and you can't even just throw napalm in their area and hope for the best.
Nothing can get in their way.
As well as the false barrier,
been granted.
She also gives them as a tactic of Pathfinder. So suddenly the rough ground, the walls, all of that they ignore as well. And then just go, okay, so you can't put the infantry there too much. They're only power and strength 8 and 9 with their lacerators. Okay, even with a bit of with the CMA, they might reasonable, but nothing great.
Charge, power and PNS 9, 3 dice. You'll be lucky to do points on jacks.
Yeah. So, because it's Cryx, how can we get round that? I know, we'll give them Power Swell as a once per game ability so they can roll an additional dice on melee damage rolls. So suddenly they're the equivalent for 1 turn of Weapon Masters against models. They can just... That shield wall unit or that advanced... that first unit...
Shield wall unit, we're ignoring that with the chain.
Even, or multi-wound units or jacks.
Yeah.
They're just wrong. Nice.
So right at the same time.
Well, it's hard to say no to chicks with whips, really.
Yeah, you might get whacked.
Yeah, but
the final unit.
Final unit.
Your personal favourite one in this book, am I right?
Right. So far we've had the Bile Thralls, who are great at taking out the heavy armour, but a bit slow, a bit ponderous. Yep. We've had the Satixis Raiders, who can really cover the table and put the threats out. Yep. But we want to
go out with a bang.
You want to go out with a bang, quite literally, and these units are good, but they can get overwhelmed. What they need is a way to really get crowd control. Bile Thralls.
Yeah.
6 for 5 points or 10 for 8 points, though I don't think I've ever seen anyone go for a max unit here.
I don't think you ever need to.
Speed 5, they're and a rat of 3, armor 10, sort of def 10, armor 13. If you shoot them, they will drop, but it's just getting to them before it's too late. Their bile cannon, spray 8, power 12, and it's continuous effect corrosion.
Damage type corrosion as well.
Yeah. Always nice. Spray templates get around a lot of defense bonuses, but Rat 6, they're not going to hit too much.
Okay, you're looking at your spray 8. Why exactly?
I'm just going through all of their rules.
Ah, that's what he's doing. I've never seen him spray someone.
No.
I didn't realise they had that thing.
Sadly, this is true. They have one other ability called Purge. You sacrifice that Bile Thrall. All models within 6 inches of its front arc are hit automatically and suffer a power 12 corrosion and a continuous corrosion effect. Automatic hitting power 12. Yeah, I've seen one take out about 12.5 models before if you set it up badly. It just, they just sit behind the front line, behind your Satixis and your Banes, and then just when they need to, they just creep forward first at the start of the activation, with just one guy or maybe two, and just angle it so they don't see each other and don't see their friendly stuff, and just go blah, and just decimate so much of the army. Yeah, my sea pirates, you saw that. But I did almost pull it back on that one. That was down to about 4, no, I think it was about 5 models in total on the table, wasn't it? Something silly.
But you lost because it blew up in your face.
Yeah, you saw that going. You're going, oh, look at all that damage. I said, it won't last, because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
The auto hit is just, it's
yeah, I didn't realise that was quite so good.
Super, super effective.
Next, we have, that's 3 nice units.
Yep.
So, to go along with this, how can we make our Warcaster better?
Yeah, definitely, it's time to look at some solos, and we've got some good units that are very independent, can do what they need to do, so we can concentrate on just looking after the Warcaster and making them really shine.
Yep. First thing for that? First
things first, the original Warlock attachment, the Skarlock Trall. It's just, it's 5 wounds, 2 points, defense 14, armor 12. So if you manage to hit it, it will drop, but you're going to keep it safely back. It can gain soul tokens for living models that are destroyed within 2 inches of it. Might not happen that much, but it's always useful, and you can convert those into focus later on. Its main ability is Spell Slave. It's a star action. It must be in the Warcaster's control area to do this. When it does, it casts one of the Warcaster's spells that costs 3 or less for free. And if it's an offensive spell, you can use the Warcaster's focus.
Cool.
So you can elect to send that forward for as a sacrifice if you want to get one spell off without risking your Warcaster. Yeah. You can cast. A power 3, a cost 3 spell is quite a broad.
Yeah.
So it's going to cover a lot of the spells.
What cost 4?
No, so you can just go, I'll put this buff up, or also the sequencing. So you can say, right, I'll put this upkeep buff spell on this unit from a Warcaster.
Yeah,
and they then do that, and then you activate the Skarlock in the same turn, and then that upkeep then gets transferred to that one.
Why would it get transferred? Someone different casting the spell.
It still counts as being from that model because they're almost as a.
But this model is a point of origin.
Yeah, almost if you think of it almost as an arc, because they can't. But the fact of you can just bounce spells around in the same in the same activation turn is very powerful.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's been around from day one pretty much with the undead, and it is really, really useful.
Now, here's one of my more favourite ones.
Oh, yes.
It's the Warwitch Siren. With speed of 7, defence of 15, she's hard to hit.
Yeah.
She's got stealth, magic ability of 7. She's going to help you control your jacks. We're going to have a quick look at her weapon because she's got reach with magical weapon and Shadowbind. So if she hits you, you're at -3 defence and you can't move except to change facing.
Yeah, so if she hits a jack that hasn't got reach back, she can keep out their range and go, dink.
Yes.
And that's it, you're scuppered. Dink.
But why would you do that? Fair enough later on in the game, for necessity, but But early on in the game, you don't want to see her in combat.
No.
You want to see her doing either her special action being Power Booster, which is a range of 5, target friendly faction Warjack. If it's in range and it has no focus, give it 1 point of focus and it's no longer disrupted.
Yeah. If nothing else, giving one of the Bone Jacks a point of focus
So they can run up the table.
And it's a focus then that the Warcaster's still got to cast their spells. It's just options.
Yep, she's got another one called Seduction, special action. It's take control of a living enemy, non-warcaster, non-warlock warrior model, base to base with this model. You can immediately make a full advance and 1 melee attack. And they can't, obviously, you can't target by 3 strikes purely because you're controlling it, and they're not going to be allowed to attack their own model.
Yeah, it's like, but what are you doing? But what are you doing with that sword? Bang!
Yeah, and final one for her magic abilities. It's Venom. It's a special attack. It's a range 8 spray magic attack. Models hit suffer a power 10 and the corrosion continuous effect.
Yeah.
But to top it all off, she can't be targeted by 3 strikes.
She has
got
parry. Magic 7 spray with a spray weapon that's magical to any incorporeal stuff. That, again, as I said, the sprays get through past a lot of the normal defensive bonuses.
Yep.
There's always something she can be doing each turn.
Yeah, there's always something she can do.
Yeah.
Even if it means walking up to you and going, I'm going to seduce you, go and attack him.
Yeah, or the shadow bind, the purges, the venoms, and there's always something. I know, because unless if I don't mention this, there will be outcry and flaming torches and pitchforks in the comment sections, because we're just limiting ourselves to a couple of options as we go through. Since we mentioned Bile Thralls as a solo, you've got Bane Lord Tartarus that does it turns them to 11 with the bonuses he gives them with the curse and creating more. I do know he's there, but to give a player a good base to start, we are avoiding named solos. So you probably are wondering why we haven't mentioned him. That's the reason. Please don't.
We're trying to go things on a broad spectrum where everyone can use and have fun with.
Yeah.
Not just if you want to go one way specific.
Yeah, so if you are a Cryx player, look at Bane Lord Tartarus, but these bits are good as well.
Yep.
So
that's units.
Yeah, so now we'll go to the Jacks.
This quite literally is mangled metal.
Yeah.
With a Seether.
Well, we're just going to go, if we start with the light Jacks.
Okay, start with the light Jacks.
Because we got the Battlebox Jacks as well.
Yeah, okay, we'll start with them.
Yeah,
I just like the Seether.
I want to keep away from the Seether as much as possible.
Yep.
Right, first things first, in the battle box, you've got Death Rippers. These are defense 15, armor 14, arc nodes.
4-point arc nodes. Power strength 13 sustained attacks.
Yeah, they've got a great damage grid for a Jack so small. It's very hard to take out a system there.
Yeah, they're spread out quite well. You've got 4 for the movement, 3 for a cortex.
Yeah.
4 for a movement.
Yeah. 4-point arc nodes with speed 7, defense 15. This is where we're saying with the sirens can give it a focus. It can just run 14 inches if it need be to get into those angles or just go in that arc, get where it needs to be, to allow the arc node to do its work.
Yep.
After that, we have a Defiler, which is a 5-point arc node. The reason this is 5 points compared to the Death Ripper is it has a spray 8, power 12, sludge cannon. Again, continuous effect corrosion, damage type corrosion.
Yeah.
But it's got the arc node, so it can get up there, and even once it's run up and done its arcing, next turn it's in a position that it can walk and still attack or aiming. Aim,
spray. Yeah.
It can just be a thorn in your side. And again, for the type of considering how small the damage grid is, defense 15, it's
hard enough to hit.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's very hard to damage. Yep. So if we so that's for the light Jacks, and if we just go through, get to the heavy Jacks, We've we've got the, where are you? The Slayer. This is the heavy jack that comes with the battle box.
Yep, I think it's a nice jack.
It's not a bad jack at all. I mean, it is only 6 points.
Exactly.
There are factions in the game where they're
kill for 6 point jack.
There are light jacks that cost 6 points or more.
There's a light jack in the Signal book that cost 8 points.
Yeah, that's...
Naming no names.
Yeah,
Fawn.
Yeah, but even just standard jacks, there are light jacks that cost 6 points. This is a heavy. For a heavy, defense 13 is pretty is very good. Armor 17, they're a little bit paper thin, but Cryx jacks, they prefer to be quick than robust.
Yeah, it's speed 6 as well.
With a mat of 7, 2 power 16 claws, and then a power 12 tusk. So it's got 3 initial attacks at mat 7. It's good going, and if it wants to, it's got open fist, so it can do all the power attacks, the two-handed throws, the slams, the grapples, all of that kind of stuff. And then it's got combo strike, so instead of making 2 power 16s, it can make 1 power 22 attack.
Yeah.
So if it goes in, it can do some damage to a jack if it wants to.
Especially if you're looking at all the buffs and debuffs you can give this.
Yeah, it just escalates. I mean, you suddenly get a power 16. Oh look, there's a Bile Thrall nearby in melee range to that target. That's the equivalent of making this power 18s.
Yep.
For no real output.
Well, we're on 24 now with the combined Death Claw.
That's stronger than most Colossals.
It is. Yeah.
And this is a 6 point jack.
Yeah. So right now, so that's the slap.
All right, so now
we get to the one I like with the picture.
Okay, now we get to the ones past the battle box to just add to this. So we've already got 3 good little light jacks and 1 good but not spectacular heavy. Time to add a bit more meat to it. So you've gone, if you want to talk about this, then
it's a Seether. It's obviously Cryx Helljack. Again, defense 13, armor 17. Same attacks, 2 death claws, tusks. Point cost 9 on this one though, slightly more expensive. Mat 8. It ain't the mat I was looking at, it's all the other stuff.
Yeah, but a non-character Warjack at mat 8.
Oh, it's going to hit, but here's the fun part. It's aggressive, so it can run and charge without spending focus or being forced. It's got soul drive. It's allocated 1 focus at the beginning of your control phase. Or allocate 1 additional focus, rather.
Yep.
So it can have 4 on it.
No, because it's allocated, you can only ever go up to your allocated total.
Fair enough, so it can only have 3.
But it's still focus efficiency.
But it can charge without spending. It's got 1 focus.
Yep.
For Mat 8, it's going to be hitting everything. It's got 2 death claws, again open fist. But instead of having the combo strike, this one's got grab and smash. It's if it hits the same model as both initial attacks, after resolving, you can immediately make either a double-handed throw, a headbutt, a headlock, or weapon lock, push, throw, power attacks against your target.
Yeah, so you're getting a free attack if both the initial attacks hit the same target.
Yep.
Not only that, one bit missed there, it causes terror. So as we all know, sometimes a failed command check at the wrong time can turn a game on its head.
Speaking from experience, you sound like.
I've had games where not just against you. I've had a couple of games where the odd command check.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah,
I didn't say who against.
The way you're gloating, it's not difficult. There are Billy Blue Hat books that are easier, that are harder to read than you at times.
I was talking about myself.
But the fact is, you don't even have to, early turns, you don't have to give it any focus.
Later turns, you don't have to give it any focus.
Yeah, no, just if, so because it can run or charge for free, or it has that focus to do it either way. If it generates a focus, it can charge a target, make 3 initial attacks. If they all hit,
first 2 hit.
If the first 2 hit with the claws, so plus the tusk, you've got potentially 4 attacks there. Plus the focus, you've got 5 attacks, and your warcaster hasn't had to spend any of their resource.
No, never is your Warwitch Siren yet.
Yeah, for Warwitch Siren couldn't give this any focus because it's already got one. The power boost.
But if it's disrupted, she will knock that off.
Yeah, but yeah, it can't have the two its own and the.
But you can use her. You're using her for another jack essentially.
But for 9 points, all that can do, that's just immense. I mean, that is. Yeah, like I said, 5 initial attacks there at mat 8.
No.
Yeah, but for no output from your Warcaster.
No.
That's Sale of the Century.
It's a ridiculously hard jack.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Cryx one, so if you do hit it, armor 17, it's going to get ripped to shreds very quickly, and its damage grid is smaller than some heavies in the game.
Yeah, it's slightly smaller by a couple of boxes.
Yeah, it's probably in the realm of about 6, 11, 14, 28 hit points.
Ain't too bad.
No, but most of the others are in their sort of 30, 32s. 34s even on the Cador one.
I think it's got 28 hit points, but
the couple of points less on the armor and a couple of less on the hit points, it does make a difference.
Oh yeah.
But hopefully it will make a huge wreck before it becomes a wreck itself.
That's it. And the last one for the jacks.
Oh, well.
It's one of my favourite ones actually. It's a Harrower, however you pronounce it. It's got a defense 12, armor 18 there.
Yeah, a bit lower
for a bigger armor.
Lower defense, higher armor.
Yep, but damage grid's actually pretty full. It's a nice size damage grid.
It's got 30.
Yep, it's got Pathfinder.
Always good.
Pathfinder. It's also, it's one of the fun ones. It's amphibious. It ignores the effects of deep and shallow water and can move through them without penalty. While it's completely within deep water, you're not allowed to aim at it. It can't be targeted by range or magic attacks, and can make attacks only against other models in deep water. And once in deep water, can't block line of sight.
Yeah. At some point, I want to try and get in a situation where I have, say, my Mariner or Shay, fighting one of these in the middle of a lake while the rest of the battle's going on, just because they're amphibious as well.
Yes.
Just to have this.
I want to see one of these fighting a Gatorman in the middle of certain casters' ponds.
Well, I would like that just because it would be funny to see a Cryx Jack get wrecked, because that's what the Gatormen would do to it.
I don't know. I reckon the Harrower would stand at the side.
Are we on about just one Gatorman or a posse?
I'm talking about the wrestler.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the Gatorman posse.
No, they're in water. They've got problems, especially in deep water. They can't swim.
I thought they could. Gatorman posse, I think they are. But
I don't care.
We're meandering. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's got Soul Taker, which means it gains 1 soul token for every enemy model destroyed within an inch of it, and it can have up to 3.
2 inch.
Yeah, within 2 inches, and can have up to 3 soul tokens. During its activation, it can spend soul tokens to gain additional attacks or to boost attack and damage rolls.
Essentially, just like spending focus.
Yes, and because it's a crabjack, this chassis with the multi legs, that's amphibious. They're steady and cannot be knocked down.
That's cool.
Its gun is Mortifier, has Ghost Shot, so it ignores line of sight when making attacks with this weapon. And it ignores concealment and cover. So it's only rank 5, but it gives the at range 10, power 14. It gives a little bit of.
It is a 3-inch AoE though, so
yeah.
Hopefully you can hit something.
Yeah, it gives the Cryx a little bit of range. They're not known for their range. Then they are a lot more than some factions. A more close combat army.
Yes.
And with the Banes and the Mechanithralls,
they want to be in combat, but while you're on the way across the table, why not hit your opponent with a couple of power 14s?
But they do like bringing back the dead and recycling a lot. So
yeah, they're very into Greenpeace, should we say?
Well, maybe their fuel is, but and then finally it's melee weapon, Perisher, power and strength 16, and it's got reach. And it's got Thresher. Yeah, it's this big long claw, and it just rakes across. You get it set up right. It charges in. Thresher kills a couple of guys, gets the soul tokens. I'll now buy an attack, kill another person that I might have missed the first time through, get a soul token. Yeah. You can just keep
Wading through.
backwards and forwards until every model in its control in its melee range is dead or you've missed. It is good. Everyone likes it.
Yeah, well, let's go to the casters.
Yeah.
We've got a nice bit of mangled metal now.
Yeah. So first off, we'll go to the battle box. Dirty Deneghra.
I like her. I think she's cool. I like her sister even more, but
You've got issues.
how have I got issues?
41.
41, yeah, I went the wrong way. There we go.
Right. Warwitch Deneghra, Deneghra 1, pDeneghra, whatever you want to call her.
Haley's twin.
Speed 7, Strength 5, Map 5, Rap 4, Defense 16, Armor 14, Command 7. Not great stats other than the speed.
You just missed that. Command 8.
Still not great stats all the way through, really.
Speed 7 is pretty cool.
Yeah. Other than that, the rest of it is Map 5, Rap 4. She's not there for fighting.
If she's in combat, you've done something wrong.
Yeah. Her weapon, Sliver, is Power and Strength 12. She's got Focus 7, 16 hit points, and 5 jack points. She has Stealth naturally.
Thank God for that. She ain't got very good stats. She needs something.
And she cold souls when living models die within 2 inches of her. She's got parry, so immune to 3 strikes.
That's good.
And Sliver is magic weapon with reach and Shadowbind. So she's basically the Warwitch Siren we was talking about. She's kind of them, turned to 11.
Them on a good day.
Yeah. Now we come to her spells.
Yeah, here's what she's good at.
Right. First one, Crippling Grasp. Cost 3, range 8, upkeepable and offensive. Target model unit suffers -2 speed, strength, defense and armor, cannot run or make special attacks. It's upkeepable, so once it's on, it stays on until that unit's dead. -2 speed, they can't charge.
I'm looking at the -2 armor.
Yeah, -2 defense and armor, you're going to be hitting them, they're going to be feeling it. The fact they can't run, so if you pick on something that was trying to flank you, you can almost just go right and ignore.
Look at it another way. The -2 strength. Your Jack's only armor 17. All of a sudden, effective armor 19.
Yeah, and can't make special attacks. So the Winter Guard sprays, special attack. Bile Thrall purges, special attack. Shield walls.
Any magic attack?
No, that's an order. Sorry. Any
magic attack? They're all special attacks.
Are they? Yeah, that's true.
All-star attacks.
Yeah, it can really turn a unit that's got some nice trick ability into just average, and you've paid a premium for that. It really...
Yeah, you've paid a premium for economy seats.
Right, Ghost Walk. Cost 3, range 6, not upkeepable, not offensive. Target friendly model unit gains Ghostly for 1 turn. A model with Ghostly can advance through terrain and obstacles without penalty, and can advance through obstructions if it has enough movement to move completely past them. So that basically gives them Pathfinder and more. They can walk through buildings.
No, it gives that Bile Thrall sitting behind the Bane Knights free path.
Well, you can't move...
Advance through terrain obstacles? Nah.
Not through other models.
That's a shame, so buildings.
Yeah, so you suddenly have these ghosts just materialise through a building wall. It's a better form of Pathfinder. So it's fantastic. Influence. Range cost 1, range 10, not upkeepable but is offensive. Take control of an enemy non-warcaster or non-warlock warrior model. A model makes 1 normal melee attack, then influence expires. Bit like the seduction that the Siren had.
They just can't move first.
They can't move first. But for 1, it could be worth a giggle. If you've got some Weapon Master troop next to your warcaster.
Yep.
Parasite.
Yep, target cost 3, range 8, upkeepable and offensive. Target model suffers -3 armor. This model gains +1 armor. Any models with -3 armor is always fun.
Yeah. Then you've got Scourge.
Yep.
Costs 4, so it's a bit expensive. Range 8, AoE 3, power 13, not offensive, but it is not upkeep, but it is offensive. Models hit by it by Scourge are knocked down, so it can set up for assassinations. And then finally we've got Venom, cost 2, spray 8, power 7, not upkeep, but it is offensive.
Where'd you get power 7 from? It's power 10.
Power 7, power 10.
Venom causes corrosion damage, and models suffer the corrosion continuous effect.
Yeah. Its options, crowd control, clearance.
And now, the fun part, her feat.
The Withering. Enemy models currently in Deneghra's control area suffer -2 to their speed, strength, mat, rat, defense, arm, and focus, and cannot run or make special attacks. So she's got a feat that debuffs you.
Yep.
She's got Crippling Grasp and Parasite, which debuff you.
Yep.
Yeah, she can basically nuke. Yeah, it's all manners of wrong.
This is in a starter box. You can knock your opponent's defense and armor down by 4 on each in a starter box.
And also their focus level for a turn, which affects affects their control area, how much they can do the next turn, their armor values, their jacks.
Right. I don't like her in a 13, 14 point game for just the starter box.
The bigger the game gets, though,
the more powerful she gets.
Yeah, I mean, you go, right, I'm going to Parasite that jack, so these Bane Thralls, they're the equivalent of knocking out the target's armour by 5 with Parasite and their Dark Shroud. So an armour 20 Cadoran Jack goes down to 15 to their power 11 Weapon Masters. Well, that's 4 dice if they charge at like -4. They shred stuff. With Crippling Grasp, and right, so that unit over there is not going to hit us. And if we in either shooting or range, and if we attack it, it's going to die. And it can't charge us because it's had a speed reduction. Then it's got its. She's got her feet at any time. Scourge. What you can do with your bone chickens.
Yep.
You get one of those to be within about 2.5 inches away.
Yep.
So it's out of reach range of the enemy warcaster. You cast Scourge through the Arc Node.
Yep.
I don't even have to boost, because the furthest it can move is about 1 inch and a fraction, because it can only go half the distance between the point of origin and the target. It's a 3-inch AoE. I will hit you. You will get knocked over, because has to be directly hit. It's just a model hit. Models hit by that AoE to suddenly set up for an assassination from a Seether or a unit of Bile Thralls, or just to a second a Venom or something to go in afterwards.
Yeah.
You just layer upon layer.
Layering it.
And that's what Denny does. And when you first we've all done it. We've all played Battlebox, and you go, so my Soulsher and your Krios and your Lilith, and then someone puts Deneghra down, and you don't know what each other's really does. You're finding your way through, and she's suddenly going, and you're now useless, and you can't do this, and I'm going to debuff you over here, and it's like, what's just happened? Suddenly, this map 5 power 12 that she's walking around with, power and strength 12.
It's amazing.
She's the equivalent of walking around going, if I debuff you with Crippling Grasp and her feet, I'm the equivalent of Mat 9.
Power 16.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I don't like her.
Yeah, so let's just try and improve things. We'll go.
Say improve.
Well,
we'll go to the person she looks up to.
Yeah, her mentor. Iron Lich Asphyxious, Prime Asphyxious, Asphyxious 1. If you want to go through his stats.
Speed 6, Strength 7, Mat 6, Rat 3, Defense 15, Armour 16, Command 7. And the Soul Splitter is Power 8 for a PNS of 15.
That's good.
Warcaster with a PNS of 15 is nice. Focus 7, damage 18, and gives you 6 Warjack points.
He is on a medium base.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Does mean you can shoot him with infantry in front of him.
Yeah, so small base models can't screen him, so it is worth remembering that.
Yeah. Oh, it's worth a lot of people remembering that, especially if they put someone like Asphyxious down, and he does turn 1.
But anyway, he has terror. He's undead because he's a big skull in a robot suit.
It is basically a big skull in a robot suit, yeah.
He has the traditional Cryxian coal soul, so if stuff dies near him, he just feeds.
Yep.
And then Soul Splitter is a magic weapon with reach and sustained attack. So if he hits, he can, and he buys another attack on that target, he automatically hits.
Yep.
So you almost just go, right, I'm going to boost the first one just to make sure, and once I've done, ding, 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 at power 15.
Yeah, you can do some damage.
Even a warlock with transfers, you're going to be racking through those transfers quick at power 15 and with sustained.
Oh yeah, as long as you hit. But spells. First one, Breath of Corruption. Cost 3, range 8, AoE 3, power 12. It's not upkeepable, but it is offensive. Models hit suffer a power 12 corrosion damage roll, and the AoE is a cloud effect that remains in play for 1 round. Models entering or ending their activation suffer 1 point of corrosion damage.
Yeah. You can use it offensively to kill models, or you can put it in the way to say, right, you can't see me, but if you want to run through here, take damage. You can do some real silly things. Immediately, if you're doing that, it's going to scatter a bit, or you shoot it at one of your own models. Cryx don't mind shooting, killing their own guys. They're dead half the time anyway, so it's just like, I'll bring him back later.
Yeah, that's it. Well, quite literally in some of these guys' cases. So, Hellfire. Cost 3, range 10, power 14. Not upkeepable, but it is offensive. It's a power 14 hit. And a model or a unit hit by Hellfire must pass a command test or flee.
Command checks, there's always a chance that you'll fail. Power 14, it can do some damage there. It's a nice spell.
Again, we've got Parasite. Cost 3, range 8, upkeepable, offensive. Target model unit suffer -3 armor. This model gains +1.
Yeah.
We've already gone through how good that one is. Now, Scythe in Touch. Cost 2, range 6, upkeepable, non-offensive. Target a friendly model or unit. It gains +2 on their melee attack damage rolls, and they gain critical corrosion on their melee attacks.
Yeah. So again, you put that on your Bane Thralls.
Put that on him is power 17.
Yeah, but you put that on the Bane Thralls, going, right, we're power, power 11?
Power 11, so they're power
13 Weapon Masters, and the enemy models have -2 to their armour, so they're basically power 15 Weapon Masters.
Yeah.
You can't say that's just wrong.
That is just wrong. You can't say it's wrong, but it's wrong, but it's right.
No, it's just wrong.
Next one is Teleport. Cost 2, range self. Not upkeepable, not effective. It's placed his model anywhere completely within 8 inches of himself, and then his activation ends. Yeah,
so he can run it, charge a target, even a friendly model, do some damage, do his spells, and then move 8 inches backwards, back to safety.
Yep.
You can really yo-yo and just just mess you around.
He can run out the table, try to do what he's after, teleport back onto an objective.
Yeah. As long as he keeps 2 in his pocket, he's always got that.
Yep.
And then finally, he has his feats.
Yeah, I don't like his feat.
Living enemy models currently in his control area suffer an unboostable power 5. Doesn't sound great, but all that light infantry, you suddenly go, right, 7s, you're dead. It can add up. It's a 14-inch bubble, so
exactly.
It's Asphyxious gains up to 7, and Asphyxious gains up to 7 focus. He cannot have more focus than his current focus as a result of his feat. So basically, what you can do is go up, spend your 7 focus on your spells.
Yep, pop your feet.
Pop your feet. Get another 7 focus.
Spend 5 more, then teleport back.
Yeah. Or if you go in on the assassination run, charge your target, boost a hit. Yeah, again, so I don't know, I'm charging Veil that's sitting on 8 focus for transfers.
Ashland Delise.
No, I'm thinking someone with a lot for transfers.
I'm looking at defence 17. It's hard to hit her. I've only got to hit her once.
Yeah, but with Vale, yeah, and she's camping all 8 for transfers. You go, I make sure I hit, buy an attack, buy an attack, buy an attack.
6 goes.
Transfer, all the way through. Feet, it's another 7 focus. Buy an attack, buy an attack, buy an attack.
You're going to run out sooner than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think Ashland Delise, because of the riposte, because of the defence 17, you've only got to hit her once.
Yeah, or same with Rias, any of those. But yeah, I was just trying to think of a warlock with a huge amount of focus just to represent transfer.
Oh yeah.
Just to, on
so
the
Mavana as well.
Yeah, she's got 7.
Yeah.
I was just really thinking who else had 8, but yeah.
My share, the Desert Walker.
Yeah. Mossa, yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
But yeah, again, options, yeah, so go, I'll do a Hellfire, boost the hit, boost the damage.
Yep.
I'll do another Hellfire. Yeah, sort of, okay, I'll do a Hellfire, boost the hit, sort of a hit, I'll boost the damage, do another Hellfire straight, and then I'll have another 7 focus, and I'll have another 2 goes. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Anything like that. So, very, very good, very utility, more traditional Cryx debuffing. He's wrong, and to be honest, as he goes through the book, he gets worse.
Yep. Now here is my favourite from all of the casters, the Pirate Queen Skarre.
Yeah, Skarre is...
She's a Satixis warcaster.
Yeah, as you might have noticed, Mike, he's had a preference all the way through here. Chicks with whips and Warwitch Sirens. As long as they're sort of scantily clad, he's pretty easy going. He can ignore the horns and the daggers and that. He's a simple soul.
Yeah. So
very.
Speed 7, Strength 6, Mat 7, Rat 4, Defense 16, Arm 15, Command 9.
Much better warcaster stats here. Yeah, you're not relying on. Yeah, just looking at that, you can sort of go, well, I'm not relying on necessarily debuffing to get my stats up.
No.
She's a lot more normal compared to a lot of other warcasters.
She also has 3 basic melee attacks. Now she's got the Thorax,
her big sword,
which is power 7 for PNS 13. The Bloodworm,
her little
which is a
sacrifice
power
dagger,
3 PNS 9, and she's got a great rack.
Everyone loves a great rack.
I'm assuming they're applying to the horns on their head.
I'm not.
See, this is where we differ. I'm looking at the model as a whole, and I'm looking at what's going to be offensive.
I'm just looking at the model.
Up. Yeah. Tyrax. It's a magical weapon with Life Trader.
I admit I'm a simple soul. Admittance is the first step.
I just think she's awesome in the game.
Oh, I'm still on the Great Rack. Right, Sacrificial Strike. Oh, you moved on. Right, okay.
Yeah, no, we're on Tyrax with the Life Trader.
Ah, right.
It's when an attack with this model hits, this model can suffer 1 damage point to gain additional die on the damage roll.
Yeah.
Once per attack you can do that.
Yes, which basically turns her a point of life. Each attack can become Weapon Master.
Yep.
At power 13, if she's going in, and it's
depending on what you're hitting, it could be nice.
Yeah, if she's going for an assassination, if this all works, life points don't matter as much. As long as you've still got 1, you're going to win. Just spend them.
Well, the other way to look at it, if the Thorax, you can spend that point to do a bit of damage. If your Bloodworm kills the enemy, it's got Life Drinker. When you destroy a living enemy model, gain D3 health.
Yeah.
D3 damage points. So it's great. And now the Great Rack with Knockdown.
Yeah, you run in, you bounce off, and you're on the floor with a smile on your face.
So this is where me and you differ. I like the idea of using her in the game for her rules. And I'm pretty sure if she hit you with them horns, you'll be on your back.
I was just thinking from the description, just motorboating those Great Rack. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Right, now, that's all the weapons covered.
Yep.
She's 6 focus, so she ain't great with her spells. But damage 16, Warjack points 6. Here's one of her favourite tricks, I'll imagine. It's the Sacrificial Strike. It's a spitfire action. It's a ranged command. Target a model in this model's line of sight. That's If that model's in range, remove it. Friendly faction troops model within 1 inch of this model from play. Target model suffers a magical damage roll with power equal to the base armor of the removed model.
Yeah, so this is where you can set up your first wave goes in. If you roll good, that wave kills those models. Yeah, great. But if you have that where your dice don't quite hit or their defense is that little bit higher, it's just a bit of a pain. You can do this sacrificial strike to have another go at killing that model.
Yep. And
when it says that with a power equal to the base armor of the model of the removed model, Bane Knights, Bile Thralls for example, are armor 15.
If the model's that hard to hit, even sacrificing one of the Satixis raiders, armor
12.
Armor 11 or 12, but it's against a model hard to hit, so it's got low armour.
Yeah, an automatic power 12. Yeah, that'll work.
I'm saying defence 15. You're laughing.
Yeah,
it's going to kill it.
Exactly.
So
it's a nice little trick. It's not necessarily one you'd use all the time because you are losing your own models.
Sometimes sacrifices must be made.
Exactly. So it's all good. It's all good.
Now let's get to spells. These are the fun ones.
Oh yes.
Backlash, cost 3, range 8, upkeepable and offensive. When a target enemy warjack that's part of a battle group is damaged, its controller suffers 1 damage point.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that ability, because that backlash is a different name to the feedback ability of the Satixis. Because they're a different name, they stack. So if you put backlash on a jack, and then the Satixis charge in, for every time one of them damages the warjack, the enemy warcaster suffers 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
And because they've got the power boost, even if you just go, we do 6 points of damage before we wreck that. We damage it 6 times before that jack's wrecked. That's still 12 points.
You've been really optimistic, being able to do 6 points of no. 6 hits to damage the jack.
No, but I'm just saying, even a minimum, say, of 6 if your dice are on fire. If you suddenly go, it's taken us 8 hits to, or 8 attacks that have damaged it to wreck it. That's suddenly 16 points. That can kill a caster like
without even looking at the caster.
Yeah, and that's one of her real big tricks of doubling up on that ability. She's a Satixis, and she's working in harmony with her own girls. The
other nice belt is a Blood Rain. It's cost 3, range 8, AoE 3, power 12. It's not upkeepable, it's offensive. It's Blood Rain causes corrosion damage and corrosion continuous effects.
Yeah, 3-inch AoE. So a scatter still or a short range arc node or whatever can still possibly hit the target you want to do, and power 12 and continuous corrosion. Yeah, it can get past shield wall units. Quite nicely, stuff like that, always good.
Now here's one of my personal favourite spells as per last time we played.
If you remember to use it.
I remembered it was important. Dark Guidance, cost of 4, range of self, AoE is a control area, it's not upkeepable, it's not offensive. And it's while in this model's control area, friendly faction models gain additional dot on their melee attack rolls.
Yeah. Very, very good. It turns 50-50s into almost dead certs. If you're going, I need 7s to hit, and now it's suddenly 7s on 3 dice, it just really swings the odds in your favour. The only thing is, it costs 4, which is a lot out of what
It's a lot out of hers,
Yeah.
So you've got to look at your Warwitches to run your jacks for the term.
Yeah.
Or have jacks what come around himself.
Or if there was just another way she can get more focus.
Yeah, well, and the next one, it's Hellfire. Cost 3, range 10, power 14. It's not upkeepable, it's offensive, and again, model or unit hit by Hellfire must pass command test or flee.
We've already gone through this with Asphyxious. It's a nice general magic missile, power 14, nothing wrong with that.
So how do we get this to have more focus? Because 6 ain't enough for me.
Well, let's see. We've got Ritual Sacrifice. Cost 2, range 6, not upkeepable, not offensive. Remove target friendly warrior model from play. Skarre gains D6 additional focus points during your next control phase. Ritual Sacrifice can only be cast once per turn.
That don't.
Right. When you cast it, you roll the dice there, and you make a note of what she's going to get next turn. One thing, which we should be saying here, for all three of these Warcasters, with the exception of Dark Guidance, all of these spells, if memory serves me correct, can be cast, or, Scourge and Hellfire.
And Dark Guidance can't be.
No.
Hellfire, yep.
All of those can be, or are of a cost that the Skarlock could cast. Obviously, some of them which are control areas, he can't, but Ritual Sacrifice is a perfect one that she doesn't even have to spend those two.
Wait. Does that mean she can only cast it once per turn?
It says Ritual Sacrifice as a spell can only be cast once per turn. And it does say that it's scarred against the D6. So you can have this Skarlock sitting quite snugly behind the line with a couple of willing sacrifices, and Cryx do have some very cheap units which you can use for this. To just go
Mechanithralls,
Stitch Thralls, anything like that. You just go, right, sacrifice, Skarlock's going to cast that for free, and Skar's going to get D6 extra focus next turn. And it just helps the machine. If she gets
a good roll,
even if you got 4, that basically means next turn Dark Guidance is free for her, and she's still got her 6 to camp a bit, or if she wants to go in.
She's got plenty of attacks. Knock them over with a rack and just wail on with Tarax.
Yeah, because you boost a hit with the Great Rack. I just like saying Great Rack. Great Rack.
It's like a tongue twister for you, isn't it?
In more ways than one. Knock the target down, and then when you go in with Tarax, it's like, life point, Weapon Master, life point, Weapon Master.
If only you could find a way to make that more powerful, that sword.
Well, the fact that it says the life trader is additional dice, so you could then spend a focus to boost it.
I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the feat Blood Magic.
I know, but I was just going through the full bit there. But, right, Blood Magic. Skarre suffers up to 5 damage points while in a control area. All friendly faction models gain +1 strength and armor for each damage point she suffers. That puts her up to power 18, armor 20, before you even camp any focus and all that sort of stuff.
Make that Satixis Raider +5 armor. I'm then going to sacrifice it.
So it can because it's base armor.
Is it? No, it's base armor. So it's a shame.
Yes. But the fact is, you're getting it costs her 5 life points. So most of the time, she's going to be down at 11. So you may have to look at spending focus to heal her back, or there is the Stitch Trolls which can heal her, and bits and pieces.
You're looking at it as the assassination attempt,
or the fact that when your line's about to engage, or you think that you're about to be charged, you go, right, my armor 15 Bane Knights, or armor 20 Bane Knights, my armor 12 Satixis are now armor 17 Satixis.
Yeah.
My power 11 Weapon Master Bile Thralls are now 16 Weapon Master Bane Thralls with -2 to your armor.
So effective 18.
My armor 17 Jack is now an armor 22 Jack.
Yeah. It's just all stacks.
It just and not only defensively, offensively, those power 16 claws on the Seether and Slay are power 21s. It's as defensive as what Striker's feat is, and as offensive as like Butcher's in many ways.
Yes.
The downside is she's had to lose some life points. So if you can't heal her, or your opponent can get an attack vector while she's in a weakened state.
Yeah.
But while she's a weakened state, she's still going to be armor very high. So she's got a lot of options, and she's a very good caster for all levels of game. Yeah, beginners, intermediates, all the way up to nationals competitions.
I want her.
I'm not even going to go there, Mike. I'm not even going to go there.
It's all right.
Right. Anyway, so we can all have a cold shower and relax. Also, I think it's that's all of the battle boxes and beyond for Warmachine now. Like I said, I think Justin's got some other bits in the pipeline, and that gives us a chance to do a bit of research. And we'll
do a bit of research.
Okay, I'll do all the work. You just be here and look pretty.
Okay.
Pretty ugly. And we'll
jealous.
And we'll be back soon with more for Hordes.